Welcome, I'm Ali Khan, the CEO of Altru, and we're here at the SRSC conference with Bryan Chaney. Bryan is the Director of Global Employer Brand at Indeed. Welcome, Bryan.
Thank you very much.
And Bryan has been the MC here at the SRSC conference. Bryan, tell us a little bit about the conference and some of the insights that you've learned.
So I've learned a lot. Listening to everybody, I always learn it every day, but most importantly, every single event that I come to, and SRSC is no different. You learn a lot about not just the fundamentals and the values and philosophies, because there's a lot of that, but then the next level stuff is, okay, how do we then impact that, and how do we affect change based on that philosophy? And so one of them is, as we learned in the panel just a little bit ago, is about communication, and how do we increase that communication enough without going overboard? And it's just like looking at your CRMs, looking at drip campaigns, email marketing, any kind of automation like that. How do you make the right judgment call on that mix? So adjusting your communication frequency is one of the things that I love that we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think has been the most impressive set? I mean, there have been so many impressive sessions here, but what has stuck out to you?
So for me, I loved, selfishly, I loved Will's presentation on video killing the microblogger. And so it's obviously the title was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but what it was really about is saying that there are so many different tools that are available to tell a story. We've all got a video studio, right, in our pocket. And so it's understanding that we can use that in lots of different ways.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. That supercomputer that we walk around with now gives us a lot of power, and it could be super impactful for this space as well. So speaking about this space, you are one of the more experienced people at this conference. What brings you specifically to SRSC? What excites you about this conference specifically? Well,
I think the size of the conference is something that I really love because you want to be able to connect with people. And I say this, said this so many different times up on stage as I'm encouraging people to meet someone new, network. The people that you connect with after the conference are really what provides that value, that return over the long haul.
And so at Indeed, you've largely shaped the entire employer branding strategy at such a large organization. What are some tactics that you have implemented that people can learn from at Indeed specifically?
The cool thing about working at Indeed, as many companies are data driven, Indeed lives it. And so it's like, okay, what is the data telling us? Which means, the great thing about it, so it could be a little intimidating. You're like, okay, you've got to have data for everything. But what that means is you can test just about anything. I say at least twice. And so you want to find out, okay, let's try it. Let's pilot something. Pilot's the magic word. Let's try it. Let's pilot something to see what happens. And then you collect data and you go back and look at it. So I think learning that that process is okay.
There you have it. Thanks for joining us. We've got Bryan Chaney, the head of employer branding and talent attraction at Indeed. Thanks, Bryan.
Thanks, Ali Khan.